Hello everyone, welcome to the FiveMarks Mark Review. I am your host, Mr. Martin115, joined by my darling partner in crime.
Hello everybody, I am Carmo. Welcome back for another week.
He's back on the podcast, even though there
Back on
hasn't
camera anyway.
been a fucking episode. On camera,
There
on
hasn't been an
camera he's
episode
back.
in a while. Oh yeah, that episode hasn't even gone out, I don't think, has it?
I will talk about that another time, because I think I'm
Yeah.
throwing that in the bin, which is
Yeah.
horrible
But
for
anyway,
Carmo.
what are we previewing today?
Today we are here to talk about Progress Wrestling, Carmo. As you can see, you're wearing your little Super Strong Style 16 shirt, which we attended. Honest to God, by the way, if you haven't gone to Super Strong Style, Carmo knows my love for tournaments, especially 2-day tournaments. I loved it when OTT did a 1-day tournament. I love any sort of tournament at all, whether it's King of the Ring, doesn't matter. And Super Strong Style was so much bloody fun. But we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about Chapter 182, Stay Humble. Because that is coming up this Sunday, live on Demand Progress Plus, which you can check out, sign up today, and get yourself watching some Progress Wrestling. So what we're going to do is we're going to...
Extremely good content on that as well.
Extremely
you can
good
go
content.
all the way back through the chapters. See some people that have made it to the absolute huge heights that they've made it, all on Demand Progress Plus.
And you can see all the upcoming shows as well. Don't forget about that. So we're going to run through some matches here, talk about the build-up and everything that's going on in progress. So, are you ready to go through this, Carmo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you ready to go through this, Carmo?
It's a big card. I'm excited for this show.
We're going to start off with a big match. And this is a wrestling match if I've ever seen one. Charlie Sterling versus Cara Noir. Big fight feel.
It's going to be a huge match, and it's going to be a great match. But there's so many implications out of it as well, because obviously in the last two shows we saw Cara Noir go up against Luke Jacobs for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Come up on the short side both times. Charlie Sterling obviously didn't get his way in the Super Song Style tournament, but since dropping that tag team, he's been on that singles run. He's been on that push to try and get to that spot, to get to that world title. And Charlie Sterling is as good now as what he's ever been. So to have Charlie Sterling go up against Cara Noir, as I said, he's going to want to be on that push to get to that world title again. He's not going to get Luke Jacobs sit down with that title.
No.
He's going to want to push back and try to get to the title. And again, Charlie Sterling obviously in the same boat. Charlie's out as a single competitor now. He's looking to get gold. What better gold to get than the Progress World title?
1,000%. And you said it, you nailed it right there. Charlie Sterling, obviously Nick retired there at Fix Your Heart after they dropped the titles to Sunshine Machine. And straight away you saw Charlie Sterling, he didn't shake the hand, he walked straight to the back because Charlie went, your career's over, mine isn't. I still got all this shit to do. So Charlie walked straight to the back. We saw him, he was my pick to win Super Strong Style. I really thought Charlie Sterling was going to go all the way and earn himself a shot at the Progress World Championship. It didn't work out that way. It did not work out that way. We even saw in the match with man like Darius where it seemed like Charlie may have overlooked Darius because of how hurt Darius was going into the match, and obviously it didn't pan out that way. Charlie is hungry. He's hungry for championship gold. And we know that. It's like Charlie Sterling, we get to see him over here in Ireland so much. He is worth every pound. He is one of the best wrestlers on the independents, and that's not even in my opinion. He is the best wrestler on the independents. No ifs or buts about it. Going up against Cara Noir, again, you nailed it on the head. Cara Noir has had Jacobs twice now with 2 losses. One of we were there for the match of Super Strong Style. How hard hitting that was. We saw it wasn't even Luke Jacobs walking away at the end of that match. It was Cara Noir.
It was this close. Close to beating Luke Jacobs.
So how hungry is Cara Noir now to fight his way back to that title scene and ultimately finally become Progress World Champion? Because when he returned a year ago, that was the goal. That was the mindset, was to get that Progress Men's World Championship. So these two are going to leave it absolutely all in the ring on Sunday and make sure one of them is going on to fight for the Progress World Championship, because that's all that's on the site of both those guys.
100%. It's going to be a huge, huge match. And I think we'll get to it obviously later with men like Reese and Luke Jacobs, but I think both of these guys will have an eye on this match to know who's going to be coming for him and coming for that title after this show.
Another big matchup, and another man who we've gotten to see on the regular coming over Progress Wrestling, Adam Axted versus Tate Mayfair's, a now fan favourite in Progress as of recent.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Tate, it hasn't been going extremely well for him in Progress lately. He's kind of on a bit of a losing side. We saw Adam Axted obviously come in at the last show, take part in that fatal 4-way. Things didn't obviously go his way that day, but
flexi boy.
Like Max said's a beast, an absolute beast, and like the athleticism and the ability that he has in that ring is toe to toe with anybody, absolutely anybody. And I think for Tate Mayfair's, it's a great challenge. You obviously have that Max who's coming back in. Tate's, as I said, he's not on kind of the best streak in Progress at the moment. Maybe this is a good opportunity for him to, I suppose, take it back for himself, prove himself, really kind of put himself back in that picture.
100%. And I mean, Adam Axted, I said there, I was coming the last show for Progress. This is a great proving ground for Adam. We know how good Adam Axted is. You know, we've seen him in tag team situations, singles situations. He is a pound for pound good wrestler out there. But Tate Mayfair's, he's the fan favorite, especially in the Electric Ballroom. You know how he went through a absolutely crazy last man standing match with Eddie Dennis. He was the shock in the Electric Ballroom when he was eliminated so early from Super Strong Style. It was genuine shock on behalf of the people. And then to lose the Battle Royal as well. As you said, he's not on the best of streaks at the moment. But I wouldn't go doubting Tate Mayfair's anytime soon. I do see this could be the start of a Tate Mayfair's winning streak. You know, he's had a shot at the World Championship before. Obviously, it came up short. But this could be his way to build back up to the world title scene. Start with Adam Axted, then you start going for your Cara Noirs, your if we'll see how things pan out the next show. You know, it could go going through a man like Reese or Luke Jacobs, whoever doesn't have that championship. You know, I think Tate Mayfair's is going to start to rise and come out of his, not his shell, but come out of this losing streak and start pushing himself a bit more to actually get back to the World Championship. And you can mark my words, in the next year, we will see that World Championship on Tate Mayfair's.
I spoke about it there in the last match that we talked about, but I think people having eyes on the match, but I think this is the match that I definitely have my eye on. You have two guys who really need to go in and kind of not necessarily prove themselves, but try and gain that momentum by getting a big win against each other. And I think for either or, whoever comes out with that win could go on to big things.
100%, 1,000%. You know, but don't doubt Tate is all I'm saying. Do not doubt Tate. Now this next match, Carmo, I know you're going to have so much of a say in this one, because he finally broke out of the family and is finally getting his hands on the dog. It's Will Cruz, it's Gene Money, with Session Martina.
Yeah, look, we saw it Super Strong Style. So there was a bit of kind of argy-bargy. G Money kind of got involved in Will Cruz's match. He ended up kind of costing Will Cruz the match and eliminated him, along with Session Martina. I think for Will Cruz to finally get that opportunity to get his hands on Gene Money, like, I'd hate to be Gene Money walking into the Electric Ballroom on Sunday.
Oh my God.
That's not going to be pretty. It's just not going to be pretty. And like Session Martina, although she's only on the outside, although she's only kind of a manager, we'll say,
she's already been spiked in her head.
Like, I don't think if you have pissed off Will Cruz walking into that ring on Sunday, nobody's safe.
No.
Let alone Gene Money, let alone Session Martina. I don't think anybody is safe inside that Electric Ballroom with a pissed off Will Cruz inside the ring.
I mean, how many months was Will Cruz being bullied, picked on, you know, pushed aside, given out to by the Moth Dogs. You know, he was the number one nephew, but things weren't going his way, whether it be accidentally costing G Money matches, Martina matches like the Fatal 4-Way, that we'll talk about a little later on. He got kicked out of the family by getting kendo sticks to the back of the fucking head and just snapped. And as I mentioned there, it wasn't G Money he picked up and just spiked. Martina roared in his face, just picked her up, bam, dropped her on her head. Absolutely took Martina out. So, Will Cruz, as you said, G Money was a big, big surprise entrant in the super strong style, obviously, with Charles Crowley not being able to compete. G Money stepped in, lost the first match. Will Cruz had already had his match, went through, and then G Money obviously taking measures into his own hands and making sure Will Cruz did not go all the way in super strong style. So what's going to happen now when Will Cruz finally, one-on-one in the ring, gets his hands on G Money? He's going to rip him to shreds. And I know, Carmo, you are going to enjoy every moment of seeing Will Cruz in the ring.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Look, we both kind of mentioned it. Like, I think he's going to absolutely tear the two of them apart. But I think as well as that for Will Cruz, I think he wants to kind of step away from this as well. I think he wants to get this done, beat the two of them up as much as he possibly can, which he will do on Sunday. And again, as we've mentioned about the first two matches, you have another title competitor in that match as well with Will Cruz. Once he sees off G Money and Session Martina, who knows the heights that Will Cruz can reach.
But I'll ask you this question. Will Will Cruz let emotions of being in the family before get to him, or will he stay focused?
I think with the anger that Will Cruz probably has at the moment, it might get too much, and he might just lose that little bit of focus that allows Gene Money to get on top. If that happens, there's a chance that Gene Money does not make it easy for Will Cruz. But if Will Cruz stays level-headed, doesn't let that anger get too much, it's a one-way fight for me.
It's a one-way fight. Speaking of fights, we have Atlas World Championship on the line when Mike D takes on Axel Thrasher. Isn't that's how I say his second name, isn't it?
Tishner, I think.
Tishner. Don't mind me. I always get the second names wrong. Wait till later on.
Tishner, obviously, he's been on quite a big run in progress. The team with Demo going after the tag titles, obviously winning the Atlas Championship, fighting against Demo. I think he's been on again a bit of a big run. But Mike D, obviously, coming back in now to progress. He's been looking for that title for a while.
He has.
It's again, it's another really big fight. It's hard to call. You just don't know. Alex Tishner, as I said, he's been on a great run in progress at the moment. He's held that Atlas title now, I think, for a couple of months.
He was a double champ at one point.
He was obviously with the tag titles, but look, it's a big defense for Alex Tishner. It's a really hard one to call. But I like Mike D is 100% he's up for the fight, and he's going to give everything he's got to get that Atlas Championship.
You know, I think this actually worked out better because this was supposed to happen in Vegas. This match was supposed to, but Tishner obviously had to withdraw from the match for whatever reasons that came about. So the fact that the Electric Ballroom fans are going to get to see this matchup, because I know Mike D is, again, another kind of a fan favorite. Fans that wanted to see him going for the championships for a while. This is going to be his big real test now. Can he take the Atlas title away from Tishner? We'll have to wait and see and find out what happens on Sunday. But I'm gonna ask you, because this is two kind of big competitors going at each other. If you were to pick one to win, Carmo, who's walking away with that title?
See, if you go with Tishner again, Alex Tishner, and again I could be pronouncing that completely wrong, but I think that's how it's pronounced. Like maybe he's still on those tag titles with Demo. You just don't know. I personally, if I was to put money on someone, not majorly a betting man, if I was to put money on someone, I'm going for Mike D to beat Tishner for the Atlas Championship. I think Mike D will win it.
But I'm gonna throw a curveball here because I haven't mentioned this to you. The match is a tables match. Does that change your opinion? You know, all he needs is just Mike D, on a turnbuckle or something, push him off. Does that change the factor of what could happen?
I think it makes the match more 50-50. As in, as you just said, like a small mistake, and you could get pushed off an apron and put through a table. You know, that kind of way. So I think in reality it does change it. It makes it a more, I suppose, an interesting fight, really. But my answer is still the same. I just think Mike
Mike
D.
D has it. Poor Axel.
I just think he has that in
Poor
it. I
Axel.
just think he's going to take the title.
We'll have to find out. I look. If I'm gonna go with it, I think the table match leans more towards Axel. He's been in matches like that before, whether it be in the WWE or it be on the Independents. I think he might have more of an edge against Mike D in that match. But look, we'll have to see what happens, see what comes. A tables match on the card definitely changes things from all the singles matches we have on this show. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
it'll be a great fight. Will be a great fight.
Oh, it'll be a brilliant fight. One thing that you don't know which way this one could go, because both guys have been looking. They've stated their claims for the Proteus Championship, and that being Charles Crowley and Mr. Simon Miller, Mr. Bald. They've both put their claims on individual shows that they want that championship, and now they're going to battle it out in number one contenders match for the title. Give me your thoughts on that one, Carmo.
I mean, when you look at the Proteus title, you obviously look at Simon Miller, someone who's held the title, defended it quite well, and was a champion for quite a while. I think when you look back at Super Strong Style, it tells you everything, I think, about the match that you need to know. Simon Miller obviously competed in the tournament. He got knocked out in the first round, which happens, and he went on to win the Battle Royal, I believe, afterwards.
He
However,
did.
Charles Crowley, unfortunately due to injury, was not able to compete in Super Strong Style, which means he did not get the opportunity to get the world title match,
However,
because it very possibly could have been Charles Crowley against Luke Jacobs in this show.
100%.
So I think Charles Crowley will feel like he's been hard done by. So I feel like, okay, he can't get to the world title right now. He missed out in Super Strong Style. Why not go for the Proteus title? Why not take that opportunity to go for the Proteus title? Go up against Paul Walterhausen. Go up against Simon Miller. Really take that opportunity to go for that title. Simon Miller's not going to give it without a fight. Of course he's going to want his Proteus title back. But I think Charles Crowley, I think for the work that he's been putting in over the last year and a half, 2 years, has just been phenomenal. And I think to finally get that opportunity to go for a title, to go for the Proteus title at this moment, I don't think he's gonna let that down. And he will. I think he'll beat Simon Miller.
Ooh, straight in with it.
Yeah.
Straight in, Charles beating Simon. I won't disagree with you. I do. My pick is Charles Crowley, only because you look how we got here, right? As you mentioned, Charles Crowley was supposed to be in Super Strong Style 16, as I mentioned earlier on, but was, for whatever reasons, couldn't take part and was replaced with G Money. Before he was replaced with G Money, he put his heart out in the ring. Said, I can't do this. I can't go for the world title now. For reasons I can't say, I can't compete here tonight. However, just because I can't go for the world championship, I still want a championship. This year will be the year of the twat. I'm looking at that Proteus championship. As you said, Simon Miller then went through a battle royal. In my eyes, it kind of earned himself a shot. Okay? Simon Miller now has to go up against Charles Crowley to get a shot at his title again. The championship he lost in Vegas. I do think there'll be more hunger in Simon Miller, but there'll be more of a strategy put in place by the twat, Charles Crowley. So I do agree with you. I think Charles 1,000%. I think he walks out with that number one contender opportunity, and then we get possibly the craziest match we'll ever see with Paul versus Charles for that Proteus Championship.
That's just going to be a mad match. It will be,
Oh yeah,
and it'll be entertaining. And like, I'd nearly be interested in going to that match. It'll be that entertaining and that good for the Proteus title. So yeah, I just think Charles Crowley just has that little bit of an edge, and I think he will do it.
I think so too. I think that Charles is going to walk out with that number one contendership in hand. 1,000%. Another match. Well, not a match. A face-to-face that we're going to talk about before they get to the match, before they get to Doris's big opportunity. Luke Jacobs, man like Doris, face-to-face, talking about what's going to happen when they step in the ring. Let's kind of go through the story here of not only Doris but Luke Jacobs, because these two are going to talk about this in the ring. But I feel like Luke Jacobs went on a hell of a run last year, hell of a run. You know, he won Super Strong Style.
Yeah, yeah.
He went on to absolutely destroy Kid Like Us and win the World Championship. And he has just ran through person after person after person. Go back a year ago when Cara Noir returned. Cara Noir stated his claim to the championship. Kenta stated his claim. Doris stated his claim. I think Leon Slater stated his claim. He had a load of people saying, I'm going to take that championship off you. And slowly but surely he is running through them people one by one by one by one, with more people added to that list. Super Strong Style this year, we'll both agree here. Jacobs survived his match with Cara Noir. The second meeting, Jacobs won. He beat Cara Noir. He is proving himself to be one of the toughest, strongest Progress men's world champions in recent times. And yeah, look, he has Ethan Allen there, but with more times he didn't, and he actually won those matches fair and square. Then you've Doris. Doris, I have said for so long, someone needs to put a world championship on that man. And the last year he has just ran through people after people, and in one night, in 2 nights, ran through 4 people to win Super Strong 16, bring Super Strong Style home, and now he has his opportunity against Luke Jacobs for that World Championship. But the one thing is, those two have met 4 times. 4 times, Doris has lost. Does that play a factor in this against man like Doris?
Oh, of course it does. Of course it does. And he'll have that in the back of his mind. He'll have to. Of course he will. Like, as you just mentioned, he wrestled Luke Jacobs 4 times. He knows what Luke Jacobs has done. He's going to have watched nearly every match that Luke Jacobs has wrestled involving the Progress World title. He knows, probably inside and out, what Luke Jacobs does inside in that ring. But with the run that man like Doris has been on, you have to have the feeling that if it doesn't happen now, it'll never happen. With the success that he's after having in the Super Strong Style, with the last year that he's after having taken over the world.
Oh yeah,
wrestling practically everywhere. Traveling over and back to America every second week, it seems like. It just feels like now is the time. If it doesn't happen now, all the momentum is behind man like Doris going into this match. Every single bit of it. It's his time. But if he doesn't do it, if he loses again to Luke Jacobs, it's not only a huge loss for Dries. It's where does he go from there? You know that kind of way.
Yeah.
And I just, it's especially with the last two Car Noir matches. Like Luke Jacobs has survived in a lot of these matches. He finds that level from deep down at the end of every match just to pull through and be able to become on top and hold on to that progress. But in the same sense, we've seen that with the Reese through Super Strong Style.
Mm-hmm.
He should not have beaten Charlie Sterling in the semi-finals.
Nope. He did.
He had him broken and he had him beat. Going into the final against Leon Slater, admittedly, Slater had a tough few battles coming up to the final. Slater was a freshman man.
He was.
He should not have beaten
Like,
Leon Slater. And he did. And the celebration afterwards with the electric ballroom shows you how much love there is for a man like Therese at the moment. But saying he's fine. But can he do it? Can he do it? Luke Jacobs isn't going to lay it down and just let him do it. Like, as you said there a while ago, four matches, 4 wins for Luke Jacobs. That's going to be in the back of mind of Derice's head. It's whether he can get past that to do it. I don't know. It's almost like a WrestleMania main event between two people that you just clash head. It's like Rock and Austin nearly at this stage for progress. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Two guys that are just at the top of their game, going one-on-one for something that they both want. Luke Jacobs obviously wanting to keep that title. Man like Dries wanting to win his first World Heavyweight title or Progress title.
Mm-hmm.
It boggles the mind how big of a match this is.
So what happens with the face-to-face?
Rambled.
No, you're
kind of rambling.
You know, that's all we ever want. So with this face-to-face, obviously this is not the match. This is the two guys coming face-to-face, one last showdown before we get to the big matchup. I think
it's going to be mind games.
Oh, it is.
It's going to be mind games.
But who's going to have the better mind games?
I think Luke Jacobs. And I think for that simple reason of the 4 matches, 4 wins. That gives Luke Jacobs an edge. Just a little edge that he can get above man like Dries. Is it enough of an edge? I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
But I think it's a bit of an edge, especially in that kind of face-to-face, that just might pull the momentum in Luke Jacobs' favour.
Well, look, I've always said my money will always be on one man. My money will always be on man like Dries.
The Lyrical Dragon.
The Lyrical Dragon. It's horrible. The blue's not actually coming out. Maybe purple might.
Well, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, maybe the purple might. But man like Dries has got this. He's got this in the bag. So when the match happens, I won't be wearing these glasses because the lights are just, they're so blinding. So blinding. But Dries has got this.
But as well as that, speaking on the match, like as you mentioned there a while ago, like Ethan Allen, like he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Some stage your ref is going to get distracted. A ref is going to be knocked down. Ethan Allen is going to be there to make a difference. Maybe a man like Dries says someone, maybe he doesn't. You know?
Yeah.
Just makes that element extra. You just can't rule out Ethan Allen in this whole equation either.
Well, if I was Dries, I would take him out if I can this Sunday during the face-to-face, so he's not there when the match happens the next chapter.
Be a good time to do it.
This is what I'm gonna call the Carmo massive portion of this, because I know that he's gonna have to talk about the match of Super Strong Style. He's gonna have to talk about how if a certain person is able to do something, and the whole story leading up to this, because it's our main event. It is now a triple threat match for the Progress Women's World Championship. Rio, the champion, who was supposed to defend it one-on-one against Rain, but has now added due to an injury sustained by Nina Samuels, meaning loser leaves progress cannot happen, Kanji is in the women's world title match. I will leave
Can
this
she do
out.
it?
I knew this was coming. We'll answer that question very soon.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question right now. Look, when you look at Rio and Rain as a one-on-one, it's a great battle. It is a fantastic battle. But with the momentum behind Rio, you can't see her dropping the title against Rain.
No.
Right? I think that's kind of fair enough. And I think it'd be a fantastic battle. Nothing against Rain, but just with the momentum that Rio has in a triple threat, everything changes. Everything changes. Because you could have Rain and Kanji team up, take out Rio, take her out of the equation altogether. And now you've got one-on-one. And now you have a new Progress Women's Champion. It's a possibility.
It's
a possibility.
It is.
Obviously, the champion doesn't need to be pinned for the title change. That takes Rio out of the equation. Can Rain do it? Who knows? Can Kanji do it? Who knows? But I think, like when you go back to Super Strong Style, obviously with the Nina Samuels and Rio match, and obviously Kanji was a guest referee. Like it wasn't an easy fight for Rio.
No.
Like Nina had her beat at a couple of different stages. Even with a little bit of help from Kanji, like she finally kind of got there. She got the momentum. She got everything. Well, she got the title, obviously. But it's a huge match for Rio, this one, because I suppose because of the triple threat kind of factor. Again, I'm kind of rambling here because I'm trying to so many points going around my head, and I'm trying to like pick them out.
Put them all out.
It's just rambling. I think you do have that aspect of like, could they team up against Rio? Take her out, one-on-one match. You probably have a new Progress Women's Champion. Rio is, on the board, a beast. And could probably fairly easily take both of these girls out, or put both of these women out, single-handedly if she wanted to. But again, you just like Kanji never gives up, ever gives up. She just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And Rain's going to realise the opportunity to get the Progress Women's title.
Big underdog.
One slip up, one little move from either Rio to Kanji or anything like that. Throw the other one outside the ring, you have an easy pin. You know?
Yeah.
So anything, literally anything could happen in this match. So I go back to the initial question that I asked when we talked about this match. Can she do it?
Yes, she
can. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Do I want her to do it? Yes, she can. But I don't. I honest to God, I don't know. It's a really, really tough one to call, and I think for this to be main event is fascinating as well, just because it's so many elements. There is so many elements to this match, but I can't call it. But if I was to give a name, if you put a gun against my head and told you to give you a name, I would probably say Rio retain.
So no Shikanji. There's a lot of factors in this matchup. You go back to Own Your Destiny when big fatal four-way number one contenders match and Rain had picked up the win. She was number one contender, and Samuels decided to hit her with the belt, reveal that she had her gear on, say, you know what? You guys deserve a title match. Threw Rain back into the ring and made easy work of her. I think it had her beat within 4 minutes. And that was it. Went from having a championship opportunity to gone. You have nothing. So this is where Rio stepped in. Obviously, we know Rio put her career on the line. Strong Style picked up a win in one of the best women's matches we've seen in a very long time in Progress. Picked up the win, became the champion. We were supposed to have this sidetrack of Nina putting her... Well, essentially, it was loser leave Progress, as we mentioned. It was supposed to be a Kanji versus Nina Samuels. So Rio was asked, who do you want to fight? She said, well, look, Rain had won this 4-way match. Never got a proper, legitimate championship opportunity. So as the champion, I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to give her a championship opportunity because she deserves what she won, and this is what we're going to do. Obviously now, Nina Samuel is being injured. Rio has gone, well, I'm not leaving Kanji off the card. I want her added to this World Championship match. And it has been done. It definitely changes everything going into this, especially because you have Rio, as you said, the absolute beast of a champion. It takes a lot to keep Rio down. You have the fan favorite. You have one of the most, I won't say never say his die, but you have Kanji, who is willing to go through hell and back to pick up a win, especially in a big championship opportunity. And then you have the underdog in Rain, who she went through 3 other women to earn a championship opportunity and was just thrown away like she was absolutely nothing by Nina. So she's going to have some absolute fire in her. She's going to want this massive opportunity because she's in there with 2 of the best. She's in there with Rio. She's in there with Kanji. Do you know, this is a massive test for her. So I agree with you. This could very much go either way. In a triple threat match, you don't know, is this going to go the champion's way? What are the opponents going to do? As you said, will they team up? Maybe Kanji and Rio will decide, let's have this and just get rid of Rain. You don't know. If I was to put a pick into this, can she do it? Yes, she can. I think a massive upset could happen and Kanji could walk out with that Women's World Championship. But could we see the underdog just come out and surprise the world and Rain walks out with that Women's World Championship? There's so many factors that play in this match.
Yeah, it's such a tough match to call. And you look at the prospects out of it then as well, because excuse me, if Kanji wins and becomes the Progress Women's Championship, that match with Nina becomes a hell of a lot more interesting.
Oh yeah.
And it's majorly interesting as it is, because neither woman wants to leave Progress. And I know everyone probably wants Nina more so to leave Progress, but then again, look what Nina has given to Progress over the years. It's a mega match. It really is. And on a card that is so big as it is and has so many big matches, for this one to get added and to be made a triple threat, it's going to be a mega show and it's going to be a mega match.
Oh, 1,000%, and it's going to be interesting as hell. Who knows? Maybe Nina Samuels will be there. Maybe she doesn't win a championship match.
I think it'll be fascinating.
Do you know?
I think it'll be fascinating.
Or
I believe she's injured at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'd be fascinating. I think it'd be fascinating if she got added as a referee.
But the thing is, does she want a championship match when the time comes, or does she just want Kanji? Because we both know neither of those two won either as the world champion. So, look, it's so much to think of. That's so much that's going to go down at Chapter 183. It is going to be an absolutely mind-blowing show. So many singles matches. You've got championship matches. You've got no contender matches. You've got tables matches. You've got family fighting in Will Cruz, G Money. So much exciting stuff going down Progress this Sunday.
If you can't make it feel extra, Paul, where can you watch it?
Where can you watch it? You can watch it on Demand Progress Plus. Isn't that great? You can watch it from your sitting room, here in my office. You can watch it upstairs. You can watch it on the toilet. Please don't.
Watching in the car.
If you're watching in the car, if you are watching on the toilet, please don't tell anybody that. Please don't
No,
tell
do
anybody
not.
that.
Do not. Do not.
That's
Do not.
weird. That's some Will
Do
stuff.
not.
Maybe.
And if you are watching this from America, which you might be, you can watch it on Triller TV.
You can watch it on Triller TV.
I've got a voice right there, so I'll say it again. Triller TV.
So many different places you can check out Progress, and we do highly recommend checking out Progress Wrestling. As I said, I've been watching Progress for about 1.5 years now. Well, I know about Progress for years because of like Walter and Ilya Dragunov, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, but never have I followed Progress as much as I have now because they are putting on some absolutely amazing shows. And again, I do highly recommend going to Super Strong Style 16. That is the most fun as a wrestling fan you will ever see. And that's, again, mainly because I love fucking tournaments. I love tournaments. Love tournaments.
Excuse me, but the fact that next year is when we get a men's and women's.
Women's Super Strong Style. Crazy historic times ahead of us.
Huge.
So be sure to check out Progress this Sunday, 3 p.m. GMT. Demand Progress Plus, Triller TV, as Carmo said as well, if you are in the States. Massive matches with huge implications on a face-to-face. We'll be back because we're going to do a review show.
Before we do the review show, if I was to push you on a prediction for match of the night,
ooh,
what would your prediction be?
I think that the women will steal the show. I think that there's so many possibilities. I'm a sucker for stories. So many possibilities that could go on. A couple of shocks, a couple of surprises. I think the women have a good chance to steal the show.
100% agree. I think every match has an opportunity to steal a show. If I was to give a prediction, Charles Crowley and Simon Miller.
Those two
has the
both won the
possibility
titles.
I think it just has the possibility of stealing everything.
And Charles Crowley is just an entertaining twat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Always entertaining twat.
Absolutely.
Well, we will be back to give a little review of this show next week, so be sure to check that out as well. Carmo, any last little things you want to say about the show? Anything that you want to plug, you work away?
Enjoy the show, subscribe to Demand Progress Plus, watch the show, and join us back here next week, where we will be talking about everything that happened on the show.
Yeah, boy. Thank you all for listening. You can follow us at FiveMarks Podcast everywhere except for X and TikTok, FiveMarks Pod, on those socials. Be sure to give us a subscribe here on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. Give us a rating. Let us know what you think of the content. And be sure to check out all of our other lovely videos here on the YouTube channel as well. Carmel, thank you so much for joining me for this little Progress insight. As for now, until next week when we both return again, thank you all for listening. We have been the FiveMarks, and we are officially ding done. Yeah, boy.
On my line.